Следува првиот дел од репортажата, посветена на 79-тиот поред македонски отворен голф турнир. Нашиот снимател беше Раул Дудник.
Stan, once again we want to salute you for great contributions over the years to Canadian Macedonian Place and the Macedonian Open Golf Tournament. This year is a complete sellout and the tournament sold out quite early. To what do you attribute the great success of the Macedonian Open?
All our golfers, all our supporters, they are absolutely tremendous. Yeah, we weren't sure what was going to happen here. We just moved it to Angus Glen. It's the first time. Beautiful course, 2 18s. We set out the program, and within a month, the whole thing was sold out. And this year, we've got a record 30 major sponsors as well, helping support. You saw all the signs when you came in, like crazy nice. We just are so appreciative of the support that we get.
Next year marks the 80th anniversary of the tournament. That is a momentous achievement for our Macedonian community. I'm sure the preparations will begin the day after today's event.
Absolutely. We're looking for a baker that can make a huge cake with lots of candles on it and celebrate. But no, you're right. We're looking forward to that event, and hopefully we'll have it here, and hopefully we'll have a beautiful day like we have right now. Thank you.
Do you have a message for our viewers at the end of today's interview in Ontario, Alberta, BC, and throughout the rest of Canada on satellite?
We just want to bless everybody, and hope you are enjoying your time. Thank you very much for joining us here today and supporting our tournament, and we look forward to many, many more, even beyond 80.
We're speaking with the president of Canadian Macedonian Place, Peter Simeon. This year marks your first year anniversary as president of Canadian Macedonian Place. In your role as president, how have things gone working with the board of directors with the various endeavors associated with Canadian Macedonian Place?
Well, things have been great. The board is amazing to work with. You know, as you know, we paid off our mortgage last year, which was phenomenal. We moved the tournament here this year to a better venue, more sponsorships. So it's been a great year, and we're looking forward to more great years in the future.
This year marks the 79th annual edition of the Macedonian Open Golf Tournament, and it is one of the marquee events of the Macedonian community in Canada. Tell us about the preparation for this year's event.
Well, the preparations are a lot. There's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes with Stan and the golf committee. You know, we had to get a new venue, which takes a lot of work. You have to get the sponsors. Selling the actual foursomes is easy. This year we sold out almost a record time, but a lot goes in the background and getting everything ready.
Especially getting the Macedonian sausages.
And the Macedonian sausages, you can't forget those. And the sun. The sun says the best part, right?
At the end of today's interview, do you have a message for the Macedonian community regarding Canadian Macedonian Place?
Well, I just want everyone to remember that the tournament is for the home. and it's to, sponsor the home and bring in donations so we can have, our Nashi living there together with their own community. We subsidize a lot of the units there and the lifestyles, and it's a very important event. We're all having lots of fun. We have to remember it's for the home and for our community.
И оваа година ново е што сме на овој прекрасен голф course Angus Glen, каде што Canadian Open беше одржан пред неколку години. Значи овдека ги имаме двата корса, северниот и јужниот корс. Во рок од 3 дена бевме продадени, значи 288 голфери се пријавија моментално. Така да сме благодарни на сите тие што се пријавија, на спонзорите кои работат со нас, на женската секција од црквата Свети Димитрија кои направија пити, на женската секција од црквата Света Недела кои денеска волонтираат на ден, и на многу волонтери кои се дојдени денеска да ни помогнат. Значи прекрасен ден, спонзорите се тука, играчите се тука, сите ќе го уживаат овој прекрасен сончев ден и се разбира ќе победат турнири тие што играат трофеи. И би сакала уште еднаш да се заблагодарам на сите и да им речам, да им нагласам дека до година ќе биде 80-ти поред турнир, така да оваа година се распродадовме за 3 дена. Има многу луѓе што за жал не можат да ја играат затоа што немаме место. Меѓутоа за до година ве молам, јавете се со време да ве регистрираме да можете да играте.
What is new at Canadian Macedonian Place?
Од Canadian Macedonian Place денеска сите се чекаат да разберат кои ќе бидат победниците на турнирот. Обично што има тука за женската секција што прави пити и таму за старите, така да тие ќе пробаат од работите и ќе се весели со тоа што цел профит од овој ден оди во канадско-македонскиот дом.
Zlatka, do you have a message for our viewers at the end of today's interview?
Message would be a thank you, благодарност на сите што не поддржуваат со години, како што реков, ова е 79-тиот турнир. До година ќе биде уште поголем, уште поубав турнир 80. Ве каниме сите да бидете и да се дружиме за денот. Благодарам. Thank you.
Bobby, your father, Van Petrov, who passed away in 2010 at the age of 87, was one of the founders of the Macedonian Open. Tell us what his legacy with regards to Macedonian community means to you.
Well, his legacy was that he wanted to make sure that the tournament continued. He wanted me to make sure that it was in good hands. He put it in good hands with Stan Thomas, and Stan, in association with the Canadian Macedonian Place, has done a tremendous job of moving the tournament forward. We were booked, we were filled in, fully booked a month ago, and my father would have been very, very happy to see the number of people that are coming out to enjoy the day today on the golf course.
Do you have a message for our Macedonian community today?
Yes, I would like to say that I'm hoping that our tradition through the Macedonian community continues, and that people continue to support our Macedonian events, such as the golf tournament and other functions that are put on by the Macedonian community.
We're speaking with Alex Mishov of the Macedonian Open Golf Committee and a member of the board at Canadian Macedonian Place. First off, this is the first year for the tournament to be held at Angus Glen. Are you happy with the facility today?
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for having me. This is the first year we have here at Angus Glen. We actually have been thinking about moving it to Angus Glen for many years, but the holdup was it's a much more expensive golf tournament, and we're trying to raise money for the home. But we finally made the decision, and it's paid off because everyone is so excited about it. And it came with the beautiful weather.
This year marks the 79th year of the Macedonian Open Golf Tournament, Canada's longest-running ethnic golf tournament. Tell us about the preparations for this year's event.
It's so much work. I don't know if people realize that. Zlatka and I were here last night, here first thing in the morning. We've been working on this for 4 months now in preparation. It takes a lot of work with a lot of people. And Stan has assembled a great team of us, and so we work night and day to get this done, but it's so satisfying when it's all done.
Today there are 3 special guests at the tournament: Christopher and Brandon Tanev, whose Macedonian heritage is traced to Banica, and Canadian sports broadcaster and former NHL executive Gord Stellick.
Yes. Here's a tidbit. Gord Stellick and I went to University of Toronto together. So we graduated at the same time. So him and I go way back. And he became a successful general manager of the Maple Leafs and a broadcaster. So we're very excited to have him as our master of ceremonies. And the Tanev boys, we're so proud of them. Macedonian boys making it into the NHL. So we're very excited to have them here today.
It is an honor to have these high-profile guests at our tournament. We want to thank you, Alex, for your support of our show over the last several years in helping us with our Macedonian Open Golf Tournament report.
Thank you so much, Bill, for everything you do. It helps us so much that you do all the advertising before the tournament, after the tournament, so thank you so much, and we're so proud to be associated with you.
Watch the Macedonian Heritage Hour on OMNI television.
Every year, it's a tradition to speak to you as your mainstay of our Macedonian community, along with your husband, Angelo. What do you think about this year's edition of the Macedonian Open Golf Tournament?
I'll tell you, it's even better than the one that was last year. There's more people. Well, I'd like you to introduce you. This is Dana Marcu and John Marcu, George Marcu's mother and father. They're our best friends, and they're Macedonian, the same believers as we are. Macedonian, that's us.
This is a very successful tournament today.
Yeah.
We have beautiful weather, a lot of young people, which is, I'm so happy to see them here and all. And this is a Macedonian spark that exists for a long time.
Що греме тука, je това цело сапорт, највике. Само тука што греме цели, што не само ние, цели луѓе што греде го сапортваме нашто, кај што речем нашата нација што ние македонското, и богатство што е. Сполај ти премногу, што не заборавиваш, свека година што сме тука. Ви се моля многу, цели македонци и македонки,
Пулите се, да сме здрави, да се држиме, because македонското ќе остане.
We're speaking with Sue Eastwood. Welcome to the Macedonian Heritage Hour.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure to be here.
Sue, you were born in Bitola, Macedonia, and spent some time in Australia, eventually relocating to Canada with your family. Tell us about those early years.
Well, I was born in Bitola, so maybe that's why I have such an affinity for the city. It's a beautiful city. But my dad had moved to Australia as a teenager, and so had my mom. So my older brother was actually born in Australia. My mom was on holiday when I was born. So she was 7 months pregnant with me, and lucky for me, I get to be born in Macedonia. But then as an infant, I did spend my early years in Australia, and then when I was about 5, my dad decided it would be really cool to go to North America and do something even more different than Australia. That was come to Canada. Here we are.
You are a definite Macedonian influencer with your page dedicated to Macedonian cuisine on the internet with more than 40,000 members. For those who've never visited, tell us more about your page.
Thank you for that. My Facebook group is called Macedonian Cooking and Culture. We just reached a new milestone of 42,000 members. The members are from all over the world and have some sort of association with being Macedonian. A lot of the members are full-on Macedonian, live in Macedonia, and don't speak a lot of English, but a big chunk of our members are, second, third generation living in different countries that want to reconnect with their Macedonian roots, want to learn about the food and that they perhaps remember from their childhood, and that's where our group shines. We can share those recipes from our childhood that we have fond memories of, and we can keep them alive for the next generations.
You and your husband's company, RMG Consulting, is an advertiser on our program. Thank you for supporting our program.
It is our absolute pleasure. Macedonian Heritage Hour, obviously I grew up in Toronto, so this was always on in my household. My parents watch it religiously, so it's very, very familiar to me. So having the opportunity to advertise here, definitely I jumped at it.
You have also published a book entitled Ahead is Light, a collection of poetry and prose.
That's right, yes. I've always written poetry. I love writing, and that's part of how my group Macedonian Cooking and Culture came to be. I love writing, and people enjoy those memories that I share. So my poetry isn't so much Macedonian influence. It's generally influenced by my life growing up in Australia, Canada, and having those Macedonian roots that are important to me. So it's a combination of all that and my experience in life. So I decided it'd be great to put it all together and then published it.
Why is the Macedonian Open Golf Tournament in support of Canadian Macedonian Place important to you?
I think it's a wonderful cause. Canadian Macedonian Place, it's been an institution for me growing up in Toronto. I think it's a well-run facility for Macedonian seniors that supports the culture, and you have that Macedonian culture there that people are looking for. It's a well-run facility, and our support ensures that it can continue to offer good quality accommodations and care.
Telegraph od Vancouver.
Hello there. My name is Orphy Partridge, and I just wanted to remind you to watch Macedonian Heritage. You won't regret that.
Watch the Macedonian Heritage Hour on OMNI Television.